The Odyssey, they called her, a vessel of iron will and maritime pride, casting off from the storied docks of Portsmouth under a sky the color of a dull, forgotten pearl. Captain Alistair Thorne, a man whose weathered face was a veritable map of treacherous sea lanes and long-forgotten ports, stood firm at the helm, his gaze fixed on the seemingly endless horizon. It was meant to be a routine cargo run, or so the official manifest claimed. But the sea, she keeps her own arcane ledger. 3 days out, the ocean fell unnaturally still. A thick gray fog, as cold and clammy as a crypt, rolled in without warning, swallowing the Odyssey whole. It clung to the rigging like a death shroud, muffling every sound until the only noise was the anxious thrum of the engines and the frantic beating of their own hearts. The compass spun wildly, a dervish of magnetized confusion. The radio hissed with static, spitting out fragmented whispers that sounded chillingly like names of sailors long lost to the depths. Fear, a cold stowaway, began to creep silently through the ship's corridors. Hardened men who had faced down tempests now jumped at their own shadows. They whispered of seeing figures in the fog, fleeting shapes that vanished the moment they were observed. Thorne, ever the pragmatist, dismissed it as sea fever, a trick of the exhausted mind. But then the disappearances began. The first was a young deckhand, gone from his post. Then 2 more from the engine room. There were no cries for help, no signs of struggle. They simply ceased to be. The once bustling ship grew unnervingly quiet, the silence more terrifying than any storm. Thorne, now alone on the bridge, watched in horror as the very wood of the ship seemed to age before his eyes. The brass tarnished, the paint peeled, and the deck groaned like an old man's bones. It was then, in the fog, that he saw it, another ship. A spectral galleon with tattered sails, passing silently alongside. On its ethereal deck stood figures, their faces obscured, their hands reaching out. With trembling fingers, he wrote his final entry in the ship's log. "The sea does not give up its dead," he scrawled. "It only trades." The Odyssey was found decades later, adrift in the North Atlantic, encrusted in rust and brine. A ghost ship on an endless voyage. Of Captain Thorne and his crew, nothing remained but the logbook and its final, chilling